everyone. Today we're going to make tiaras, scepters, headbands, necklaces, and a couple of little fairy doodads like a perfume bottle and a little flask. Let's begin by going over the tools and the materials that you're going to need to make these, and I will show you how to make all of these. The first thing you're going to need are needle nose, or these little pliers with the rounded nose, the rounded part up here. Those are a necessity for all the beadwork that we're going to be doing. You're going to need some wire cutters, and this is for twisting wire. It makes life a lot easier if you're going to work on armatures as well for fairies or clay animals. You may want to look into, I just have a Black & Decker here, and what I did was I used a large paper clip and I bent it so that it just fits in the end, and it has a hook here. I just hook it in the end of the wire and make it spin, and that twists my wire for me, saves me a lot of time, a lot of finger aching. If you have a Dremel, they really go too fast. You don't want to do that because the wire will slip out and hit you in the face. And the same thing with power tools. They're really just too powerful for twisting wire, but it can be done. Just be very careful with that, and try and make it go as slow as possible to keep hold of it. You're going to need 4 different types of wire for today. You're going to need, and we're going to work in gold, but you can also find this in silver. And this is not real gold. I'm sure you could find it, but this isn't. And I just got these at Hobby Lobby mostly. There's a 20 gauge you'll need. Let's see, 26 gauge is a little bit bendier. 28 gauge is even thinner, and 32 is teeny tiny hair-like wire that you'll be using quite a bit. You'll also want several little cups that you're going to put your beads in. It could be any cups, it doesn't matter. I usually keep my children's applesauce containers, the individual applesauce servings, and I keep those, wash them, and then I can use them to hold my beads. Although they don't have any lids, so then the kids can spill them, but that's okay. Another thing that we have here is a thingamajig, and this is a brand new toy for me, but it makes the very elegant curves on the wires for like the antenna, and I have a scepter here that also has the twirls on it. We're going to start off with some necklaces. They're very simple, very easy, and they're not too time consuming. They're kind of fun. You're going to pour your beads. We're going to use black, so maybe you'd be able to see them better on the white background. But we're going to use black seed beads, just regular size seed beads. I believe they're 2 millimeter, but I'm not sure on that. They're just, you buy them at Hobby Lobby. They're the regular size. You pick your wire. For necklaces, you want it pretty thin. We're going to go with 28 gauge wire. Remember, your fairies are very small, so you're going to want small things for the fairies, so that way it looks like it belongs. And very simple. You cut a little piece of wire, you take your rounded nose pliers, and you just curl that under. And that way, when you put beads on the other end, it's not, and I squish it too after I do that, squish it down. When you put beads on it, it's not going to slide off. The easiest way to thread seed beads, which will save you a ton of time, and I didn't know this for the first 6 months I ever worked with beads, so when I found out, I was very, very happy. Just kind of make a little upward curve on your wire, and take your bowl of seed beads, and you dip it into the seed beads, and they go on very easily. And right now we're going to want 5, and we're making this necklace first. And when you put it on your fairy, you're just going to bend the wire around the fairy's neck and then pull it down or tie it together. Just depends on how you want it to fit on your fairy. You can bend the wire over her shoulders, or you could even use it as a leg wrap or an anklet or any body part that you want. You just put on like about 5 little seed beads. You take a focal point bead if you want it. And this is Swarovski crystals, and I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Please feel free to call me and correct me. But the Swarovski crystals are much better and prettier than glass or just plain plastic. And if you're going to spend all this time working on these, you might as well get the good stuff. You thread 5 more beads on there. Bend it. And just twist the other end. And since I don't put these on my fairies, I actually sell them because I can't make fairies. Not that good yet. I leave the necklace extra long so that way they can cut it to size and they can bend it around and make it to fit arms or legs or necks or whatever. So there is one fairy little necklace. Just take either 26 or 28 gauge wire. I'm going to work with 28 again. And you make it twice as long as a normal necklace. Actually, a little bit longer. Always work with a little too much rather than not enough. Bend it in half, pull it down, and you're going to hold on to the end. I have the flat part of my pliers here that I'm using, and I'm just going to hold it tight. Then I'm going to grab my trusty Black & Decker and just going to twist. Put that right through the end and start twisting. And twisting wire is that simple. It does not take all the effort that people think it does, and you still get an amazing look. It almost gives it a filigree look because it's tiny, but it still has all that detail, and a lot of people don't even notice why it looks good. They just know it does. And you can also you can twirl a lot of wire, twist a lot of wire at one time, a big long piece like this. So that way your ends, you're not wasting as much wire. The next one we have here is just a variation of the necklace. I'm going to show you how to use these flower beads and how to put that center on there. You just take your section of wire and you're going to loop one seed bead on here. Don't twist the ends yet. Put it in the middle, take the edges, pull it straight. There you have your one seed bead on the very end. You take your little tiny flower crystal and you put both ends of the wire in there and pull it straight up. Then sometimes you have to hold it with the pliers so you can pull it really well. You want it tight on the end. So you have that. You pull it open. Then you string beads on either side, excuse me, and twist them down. And there's your little necklace.